Hello and welcome to the Brahmani Embodied Chakra Series. This is the first class. We're focusing on the root chakra, so the Muladhara, quite often associated with Mula Bandha. Some of you might be familiar with engaging pelvic floor. And then let's open the eyes. And we'll start our structured warm-up facing towards the front of the mat. Soles of the feet on the floor, knees up. And depending on what's going on in your hip flexors, they can be either further away or closer in. Now, closer in means I have to work more in the front of the body in order to keep this engaged and supported, right? Keep your feet planted on the floor, maybe a little bit wider than your hips if you feel like you're compressed in the hip socket. Just start with the arms reaching forward, and we're going to imagine we've got a beach ball, stirring the beach ball around the knees, right? So of course you notice there's a twist going on in the upper body as I reach around, and I want to feel all of the muscles in the front of the torso just firing up as best as I can. That includes hip flexors and the quadriceps. I did change directions, so sorry I didn't mention that. And then over the head, let's lift the arms over the head and make the circles. Try to let the whole body follow the circular action as opposed to just making circles randomly from the shoulder. I want the whole spine to follow. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging because the muscles in the upper torso now have to get involved as well in order to support the arms staying above the head. And again, I'm doing about 3 or 4 circles in each direction. And then reaching up, lift the spine all the way up. Take a few breaths here. And now I'm rolling down to the floor. So I'm going to start by tucking the tailbone under. Navel has to engage. And slowly rolling all the way down. Extend through the legs. And I'm going to reach the arms over the top of my head. So for a moment, I'm elongating everything like somebody is pulling my heels away and my fingers in the opposite direction. Now I'm going to return, but start from the navel. So the first action is drawing the navel down towards the floor. So my knees are going to bend, my chest is going to lift. I'm going to reach down towards my feet and then roll all the way up. When I get upright again, back to my starting point, soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Right hand comes down to the outside of the right leg, left arm reaches over. Fold it through the center. And rolling all the way upright. Arms come out to the side again, left hand down, right arm reaches over, fold it down through the center, and rolling all the way up. We're going to start again by placing the soles of the feet on the floor, reaching up, take a breath in, and then nice, long, slow exhale to roll all the way down. Once again, extend everything, so give this like big body yawn, stretching, and then the contraction happens by the navel trying to press down to the floor. So the rest of the body, I'm letting the joints respond to that, rolling all the way up, reaching up at the top, soles of the feet together. Again, we'll just keep going in the same direction. Right hand down, left arm up and over, and come back through center. Roll up through the spine, arms out to the side, left hand down, right arm reaches up and over, and roll back through the center, and then unfold. As you come back upright, soles of the feet on the floor, arms reach up again, take a deep breath in. Again, try to draw the rib cage forward and up, and then tuck the tailbone under to roll down slowly. And extend everything away. Nice big body yawn for a moment. And then exhale. The navel comes down, so the knees slightly bent. My chest already wants to lift because of the response in the lower back. Coming all the way up through that starting point again. Soles of the feet together. Right hand to the floor, left arm up and over. Roll back through the center. Folding forward as far as it feels comfortable. Same thing to the other side. Left hand down, right arm up and over. And over the left leg, walk the hands down and around. And then rolling all the way up. Soles of the feet to the floor, reaching up one more time. Tuck the tailbone under. roll it all the way down. Try to go as slow as you can so you really feel the front of the body working. And then we extend, so we give it a break. Everything elongates, and then think about that exhale, drawing the navel down. The chest is rising. Everything follows to come back up. Soles of the feet together. Right hand down, left arm up and over. Roll through the center. Come back up, arms out to the side. Left hand down, right arm up and over. And come back through center. Roll all the way up. And again, we come back to that starting point just for a moment, reaching up. Lift the rib cage up and forward. See if you can get the sense that the feet are trying to pull in towards the sit bones. So now my hamstrings and my quadriceps have to work as well. Take a few breaths there. And then we just release. Let's cross the right foot in front of the left. Pause here for a moment. Close the eyes. And just notice how the spine feels. So we've woken up a lot of the muscles around the spine, the obliques, the rectus, the lats. Everything's kind of had to get involved there. So does it feel like it's held with more support? And then open the eyes. And moving on to our next section. So we will come back to starting with the feet flat on the floor, knees up. And we're going to start with the arms out to the side. So the first action is to drop the knees to the side. So I call this the staggered mermaid. And turn to the right. So I'm revolving. Right hand comes down. And then I imagine I'm going to hug a big round ball. So I have to tilt the pelvis under and curve. So the front of the body has to engage. And then open it back up and return back to my sit bones. And then drop the knees to the left. So the revolving happens first. Left hand comes down, and then I'm hugging. It's like I'm trying to wrap myself over the ball and then open it back up so the back has to wake up. And then without putting the hands down, can we return to the sit bones? I'm going to shift back on the mat because we will creep forward. Your sit bones will do a slow walk forward. Drop the knees to the right. Right hand comes down. Hug the ball, round everything. You can even tilt back towards the back of this right sit bone. And then come back up. Return through the center. And drop the knees to the left. Left hand comes down. Hug the beach ball. Open it back up. And return back to center. Let's do that one more time on each side before we add on. So you find that rotation, all the muscles working, right hand comes down, hug the beach ball. So now the front of the body has to work a little bit more. Open it back up and return to sit bones. Knees continue over to the left, left hand down, round through the spine. Open it back up and return to the sit bones. Okay, now we're going to add on. So knees dropped over to the right. Keep the spiral going to the right. Right hand comes down, hug the ball, rounding, and then push down with the right hand, lift the hips up, what I call baby rock star. Left arm makes a big half circle. Now the back of the body has to engage. So for a moment, feel the glutes engage, feel the heel of the right hand push down so the right side of the ribs engage. And as I reach the left arm up and over, I want to make sure the upper back is engaging too, right? So those are the contact points for support. Then bring the hips back down and we reverse to the other side. Bring it back through center. Drop the knees to the left. Continue the twist, left hand down. And it's like I'm drawing this ball into me. And then as I come out of it, heel of the left hand pushes down. Open up the hips. And remember all of those things. Glutes, side of the ribs, upper back working. And then drop it down. And continue back through center. Over to the right. The twist happens. Right hand comes down, round through the beach ball. Open up to baby rock star. Bring it back down through center. Back to the sit bones. Drop the knees to the left. Revolve. Left hand down. round through the ball. Open it up, lift the chest, push the feet down, engage the legs. Bring it back down to center. One more time to the right, then we're going to carry on. So going through the sit bones, drop the knees to the right. Find the twist, right hand down, hug the beach ball. Push the heel of the right hand down, lift up, baby rock star. Push the tops of the feet, the shins down. You feel everything working. And then from here, I'm going to lean into this right hand, swing the left leg all the way around towards the back of my mat into a lunge. So take a moment to adjust your right knee onto the mat, especially if you need the padding. If you need extra padding, remember, just get a towel or something soft. I'm going to keep my left foot slightly wider than the mat and start with my hula hoops. So I want my hips to work in a circular action. Always doing this the first round before I'm going to invest in any kind of lunging or hip flexor work or lower back work, right? I want the legs circling around in the hip socket. So that left leg is following the foot, the knee and the ankle are all making that circular action. And do about a few times changing direction each after every 1 or 2 circles, so we can feel that whole range of motion. All right, so let's inch that left foot in a little bit closer, and we're going to come up to a higher lunge. And from here, I'm going to start 2 actions, going to make a little wave here. So I'm reaching both arms forward, so glutes have to engage. Reaching the arms up, abdominals have to engage. Big circle. Let's do one more like that, because we're going to come back here. And then as the hands come back down, I'm going to lift the right knee, turn to the right knee bends, left leg extends, surfer squat. So I'm going to have a little pulse here. I want my feet to feel like they're pulling away or pushing away from each other. We go back to the lunge. So return to the left, right knee comes down. Reach the arms forward first, so you feel the back of the body has to wake up to come up. And make a big circle. Let's do 1.5 circles. So that as the hands come down, next to the left foot, lift the right knee, turn everything to the right, surfer squat. Again, make sure the foot is nice and awake, supporting, feeling through the thigh, feeling through the glutes. And again, turn back to the left, right knee comes down. I'm reaching forward first, so the back of the body really has to work to lift the spine up. And another circle. And then hands coming down, lift the right knee, turning to the right. Right knee bends, get a nice pulse going there. Great, now from here, pause. Lift the chest a little bit more. So again, I'm going to need a little bit more of that universal core work. See if you can float that left hand. Keep pulsing through the right leg. Notice if your chest and your head are dropping, and try to keep it up, right? And then place the left hand near the right foot. I'm turning everything to the right. Break dancer. I'm kicking the left leg in the space in between to come to sit. Cross the left foot in front. Hands to the thighs, close the eyes, and breathe. So we take a little break before we carry on. And again, just keep feeling that connection into the earth. How does that support you? That sense of strength. When we feel our muscles working, when we actually feel something that we can do that makes us feel strong, it's proven to psychologically give us more confidence, so we actually feel more stable and connected in the mind. That's why some of this work is so much more valuable than just, working the muscles, okay? So carrying on, we start at the starting point. Arms out to the side, we're going to the left first. So drop the knees to the left, get that twist. Left hand comes down, hug your beach ball. Open up to your baby rock star, lift the chest, push down into the tops of the feet, feel the thighs work. Bring the hips back down, back through our starting point. Drop the knees to the right, revolve. Right hand comes down, find the beach ball. Open it up to the baby rock star. And bring the hips back down, back through center. Roll through the sit bones, drop the knees to the left. Left hand comes down, hug the beach ball. Open up to the baby rock star. Again, for a moment, push down so you feel the back of the body engage. Now from here, we're swinging this right leg around so it's towards the back of the mat. Adjust yourself for padding, and we go back to those hula hoops. So I start by keeping the right foot wider than the mat so I've got plenty of space for the pelvis to circle around, letting the knee, the ankle, and the foot follow each other. Not being rigid, but just letting that thigh bone find its way in the hip socket. Let the lower back follow. And again, I kind of reverse the circle every 1 or 2 rounds. All right, so let's add on by bringing the right foot a little bit closer in. So now it's on my mat, and bringing the spine upright. I want to make sure I feel like this right foot can push away so the thigh actually engages. So we start the circle. As I lean forward, I'm reaching forward, arms come over my head first, and then I lift the spine. You'll feel it takes a lot more work. Big arm circle. Let's do that another time before we move on. And then placing the hands down inside the right foot, lift the left knee. Surfer squat now over the left leg. So the left leg's gonna bend, right leg's gonna stay straight. Now my left arm floats in the air like a wing. A few pulses there. And then moving back through center, turning back over the right leg, drop the left knee. And again, I wanna reach over the head first and then bring the spine up. Continue the circle, one more round. And then as the hands come down, lift the left knee, turn to the left, surfer squat over the left leg. A little pulse there. And then back over to the right, and place the right knee down. And again, reaching forward. Then let everything push the spine upright. And then hands come down, lift the left knee, we go back to the surfer squat. So here, we're gonna stay here a little bit longer. So once again, I'm gonna lift the chest a little bit because it's gonna make the upper back muscles work. Release that right hand, see if I can float my arms in the air like wings. If you're uncertain if your head is dropping lower than your shoulders, just change where your eyes are looking. Instead of looking straight down, look beyond the edge of your mat. And then turning to the left, right hand comes down. I turn to the left, lots of space between the right hand and the left foot. Push off with the back leg. Kick the right leg through to come to sit. Cross the right foot in front of the left. Hands on the knees of the thighs. Let's close the eyes and let all of that information just settle back into the body. Noticing now we've added right and left side to that sequence. Do we feel an equal sense of vibration or energy or buzzing traveling through the body? What's our connection to the earth? How do we keep reminding ourselves we're supported? And then gently opening the eyes. Let's uncross the legs again.